Welcome! So if you're here, you might be thinking to yourself, what the fuck? I mean, I got the team, we got the goods, we got the gear, but we just can't seem to get the high desired trash loot that we aim for. So in this video, we will be answering the question, why we are not getting more trash loot. So with my time doing Olun's hunting for the ring, there are three things that I've observed that people should improve on and understand so that their Olun experience will be better. So number one, pulling the big golem ahead of time. So after you destroy the golem's arm when he throws down his arm, the big golem will be in an iframe state for a couple of seconds, meaning you can't hit him for a period of time. So during this time, one of your party members should go and wake up the next golem, and if you have a shy in the group, it's usually the shy who goes out and wakes up the next golem, as the two remaining DPS should, DPS. Now, while the big golem is waking up, again, he will be in an iframe state. So he cannot be hit until he is up on his feet. Now, by doing this, you are negating the time it takes for the golem to wake up and making sure that your team can immediately DPS the next big golem after the previous one. So right here, I forgot to pull the golem. So in this example, we can see that we are wasting time waiting for the golem to stand up when instead we could already have started to DPS. So always make sure to pull the next golem ahead of time. So number two, killing the small golems. So the small golems, this is where people lose majority of their trash loot, especially if you don't know what you're doing. So the gist of the mechanic is, when the big golem spawns small golems, when the big golem dies, all the small golems die as well, leaving you with no trash loot. So to not screw this up, you need to understand certain mechanics. So there are two scenarios. The first one and the second one, which is the ideal one. So the first scenario is when you DPS the big golem after his attack animation, if his HP reaches 50%, he will do the arm throw. Now, after he does the arm throw, he will then summon the small golems. Now, the common mistake is that people will continue to DPS the big golem and it dies without you killing the small ones first. So in order to avoid this, when the golem throws down his arm, he will attack the player that did the most DPS to him. And that player should run out and avoid the red circle so that the big golem will lose aggro and summon the baby golems instantly. Because normally, what the big golem will do after the arm breaks is that he will do an attack animation and then summon the golems. Meaning, you will lose time waiting for him to spawn the small golems, or if you DPS immediately, you will most likely kill him before he spawns the small golems, or he can summon them, but he will die first before you kill the smaller golems because his HP was already low. Second scenario. So this would be the best scenario that you should aim to get. When you DPS the big golem after his attack animation, if his HP goes below 50%, you should aim pushing it down to 40%. Instead of throwing down the arm, he will summon the smaller golems first instead. What this means is that you will have two iframe windows to finish off the smaller golems. One during the summoning animation, and second during the destruction of his arm. So it will become a more straightforward grind if you achieve this scenario. And scenario 2 is required to pull off tip number 3. Number 3, pulling the extra small golems. Now, the extra small golems are the ones further away and needs more timing to finish off. Because if you don't DPS them before they reach their distance limit, they will reset and return to their spot, meaning you won't be able to deal damage to them until they have returned to their previous location. So in order to kill them in time, you must achieve scenario 2 from tip number 2. So if you DPS the big golem enough to 40%, we already know that he will summon small golems instead. Now, if he is still in his attack animation and you already see that his HP is already at 40%, leave him and start attacking the extra golem before it loses aggro. Now during this time, the big golem will summon the small ones and then do the arm throw. Now by the time he throws down his arm, you most likely have already finished off the extra golem, and boom, extra money. So other golem locations, you can find one here. Behind the tree over there. For the next one, you can find one over here. For the forest golems, you can find two. One over here and the other over here. So as you can see, we fucked up here. And the golem lost his aggro. So that's what we want to avoid because we can't DPS it until it returns to its previous location. And yeah, we just lost a golem. So for Crossroad Golem, there's one at the back over here. And the golem here by the entrance, you will find two over here. For some reason, they didn't spawn in our server, so yeah. We just lost two golems. And the last one, there are two over here, and there is one guy further back. So what we failed to do here is that we should have, while the golem is still waking up, we should have went to the one further back because you can't pull it. And these two have an aggro limit towards here, so be careful of that. You can one of them should stand right over there, the one who pulled them, so that they won't lose aggro. And so yeah, that concludes our video. I hope you find this informative. If you did, hit that like, drop a sub, and if ever I did miss something, comment it down below so that you can help out the community. I also do plan on streaming Black Desert from time to time. So if you want to hang out, drop by and I'll hit that follow. And yeah, peace.